Okay, guys. So here, yeah. So what we're going to do is, I think we are good, and we shall start now. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to pick up positions and stuff from Doretsky's books, which I find really useful. So some of the books that I have, I really love of Doretsky's Attack and Defense. And then Doretsky's Endgame Manual. Obviously, we're not going to be dealing with the endgames here. So there's one more book that I really just absolutely love, and that book is recognizing your opponent's resources. And I think it's a concept that a lot of we players, till the rating below 2300, I think a lot of us we miss or we tend to ignore our opponent's resources. We get so engrossed or so excited about our plan or our good move that we totally ignore our opponent's moves. Hi, okay, tested. Yeah, Nandy's bro is the title. Yeah, she said she has got to put that there because people need to know that she's not on stream and it's her brother. Okay, yeah, here she is. So we decided that for all the hard work that she's been doing in the last couple of months, streaming regularly on almost on a daily basis. She said that she was a little tired and she wanted a day off. So I decided that probably I can fill in for her today and maybe another day as well. So I think it's a much needed break for her. So I hope I could be of some use today here. So as the stream title suggests, we will be improving our calculations in chess, and calculation is like an integral part of chess. In the sense, you can study as much as you want. You can learn theory, you can learn the concepts, you can go through a million games of chess, but at the end, if you're not able to calculate in a unique position, you're never going to win a game of chess, or you're never going to really improve to a level that you want to reach or aspire to reach. So that's what we're going to work on today. So I'm going to start with some positions, and I'm going to gradually increase the difficulty. Hello, mild reflections. Okay, so I'm going to start with pretty basic positions, and yeah, I hope we it could be fun, and yeah, we shall um, we shall see how this goes. Nandy's in the chat. She just will not allow me to she just won't allow me to do it on my own. She's going to be here to supervise. So some pressure on me. Okay, so we're going to put some positions, and I'm going to start from a very basic position. And when I say a basic position, it's like a puzzle where okay, I'll just set it up and then we can talk about the puzzle. Yeah. Is this like solving tactics or learning to understand positions? Gotti, this is not solving tactics today. We will be understanding the process of calculation. We will be trying and just seeing how you go about a position. We'll be understanding how complicated chess can be. We'll try to understand how to calculate better. So um I mean, these are I all I will be showing you is stuff that I have gone through personally and found useful. So if I believe like some things have definitely helped me in chess, and I just will pass it on. And if it helps you, well and good, and it's great. So yeah. Mm, yeah. So guys, this is a position with white to play. Okay, and one thing that you observe, like the first thing you observe in this position is that both the kings are extremely weak. If it's black to play, obviously there's a one move checkmate in queen g2 or queen h2. So it's white to play, and then the question arises, like So you try and see all the difficulties in the position first, and after judging all the difficulties, you've got to go and see how you can work on your opponent's king. Unfortunately, no, you don't have a piece, or you don't have anything that can actually stop something, this queen g to a queen h2 checkmate. So you know rook takes f1, your opponent does not need to play e takes f1, although that wins too. So rook f1 just has queen g to checkmate, so obviously that's not what we are looking at. So now when you look at this position, I'm going to give everybody around 3 to 5 minutes. It's white to play. The white pawns are moving this side. So take your time and let me know what you think is the answer, and then we're going to discuss it, and then we're going to look at the process how we can actually reach the answer. So even if you have not got the answer, I hope you could you probably would understand how you could have done it, and probably next time it could help you in solving a puzzle, or calculating in a difficult position in a game. So yeah, so I'll give you 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, tested. Yes. Okay, tested goes straight away. He says forced rook check. So he has okay. So okay, tested. Rather than just going move by move, what I'm going to do is, if possible, you can give the complete answer in the chat, and everyone else who is there as well. If you think you've got the answer, do give me the answer in the chat. Danny boy, make sure that you can. Okay, I mean, I get what you're saying, Danny boy, but everyone in the who is watching, and if you're going to be giving your answer, just make sure that you give the answer till a particular point where an amateur chess player also knows to win. It's so winning that we don't have to discuss it further. Yeah, chess player 08. Yes, black has queen c8 at the end. Guys, don't just assume, don't just assume that it's a one move checkmate. Go further. Try and see what your opponent can do as well. So this is the first basic position what we are going to do. There are several lines which look winning for white, but in every line black has something, a resource, at his disposal. So what we're going to do is we are going to try and make sure that we can calculate till the very end. So everyone has around 3 to 5 minutes. We will be discussing this answer, and I'll tell you some things about calculation that I believe. Yes, chess pads are UK alternate Nandi. Yeah, she's been streaming for long, so she decided. I mean, she didn't decide to go off. She said that she was a little tired. She said she would have loved if she could take a day off, and then I said, okay, you can take your day off. I will come in for you. I'll fill in for you a couple of days. Chess player says Queenie sage. Okay, yeah, that's good. Colin, hey Niraj, how are you? Yes, Colin, I am good. How are you? By the way, if anybody thinks that I'm going too fast, let me know. I will slow down. You can ask me your doubts. You can ask any kind of questions that you have relating to the position or anything. Yeah, I would like to believe I'm a nice brother out here, but yeah, we'd have to ask Nandi that question. Chess Padza, how are you? And how's your kid? Must be hectic, right? The last couple of months. Probably not having enough sleep as well. All is going good, Colin. Just streaming here on behalf of Nandi and learning some chess as well. Gotti says he missed queen c8 blocking the check. Exactly my point. So you've got to consider all those moves. Oh, yes, he's 6 months today. Thanks for asking. Oh, he's exactly 6 months. Okay, that's nice. And how's the situation in UK chess pads? I mean, is it getting better? I think I'm not sure, but I mean, last that I knew, I think England was in lockdown, right? This position is white to play, guys. This position is white to play. It's white to play. So anyone, I did get one correct answer. I'm not going to tell who exactly it is, but I've got one correct answer. So make sure that all of you can drop in your answers in the chat. Thanks for the follow. Okay. Bohemia Okay, that's a tough name. Bohemia Rhapsody. I don't know if I got that right. Hi, Bohemia. If I got that right, do let me know. Supposed to end in 2 weeks, but I doubt it. Okay, and India is doing fine. I mean, when I say fine, we are such a large population, so irrespective of how many people get infected or test positive, it always feels like a lower number, but it is not. It's not good. But yeah, I mean, the situation I hope will improve out here. Hidden King says rook b8, king b8, queen b5, and then queen b7. Yes, Hidden King, but do you think that is checkmate? Because you've got to try and understand what your opponent will do as well. You might as well calculate it. Oh, it's a song's name. Okay, I'm not great. I'm not great with my music. Okay, I didn't know that was a song's name. Okay, so guys, I will go forward with the answer here. So when you look at this position, as I already said, it's white to play, and it's impossible to stop the queen from coming here and giving a mate. So what exactly do you start thinking of? Now you start thinking of moves that you cannot play. Okay, I mean, you can't do something like knight d7. So over here, what exactly do you do then now? You realize that you can play the move rook b8 check. It looks forcing. So in such kind of position, always you've got to start by calculating forcing moves. And the reason you start calculating forcing moves is that your opponent has lesser options. So when you play a particular move, he has to respond in a particular way. So you have less stuff to calculate. So I just kind of believe calculation. I kind of have given it my own school of thought. It's like a gulmohar tree with so many branches is obviously going to be more difficult to climb than a coconut tree. So I call this the coconut tree method, where your opponent just has one particular move. Yeah, so we have rook b8 check. That's obviously the first move that comes to mind, and you've got to calculate it. So black goes king takes b8, and then you can go queen b5 check. Obviously black can't do king a8 because there's queen b7 mate. So but black plays king c8. Yeah, CCTP, exactly. Chess player 06 CCTP. So CCTP stands for checks, captures, threats, and pawn breaks, and we will come to that later on. Sabrina says, hello, where is Nandi? Sabrina, Nandi is on a vacation for 2 days probably. So for 2 streams, I will be taking over. She said she needed a break, so I thought let's give her a well-deserved break. Okay, guys, so in this position, king c8, white can go queen b7 check, and I think a lot of us would have just believed that after king d8, queen b8, that's simple checkmate. Yeah, queen b4 check is pretty much the same, ChessPod, right? I think we all had come to this position, and this is where you can't just ignore your opponent's moves. There's queen c8, and suddenly it's really hard to see how white can actually counter all these threats that black has. Black has the threat of just capturing your queen. Black has the threat of promoting himself, and has the threat of capturing your knight. So, we come here, and then we suddenly find ourselves in a little bit of trouble. Now, in this kind of position, you just don't look at queen b8, you also look at queen a8. Okay, but then in this position, this alternate check does not do any good. So, okay, you can ignore it here as well. And in this position, as ChessPad said, you know, queen b3, queen b4, these are all alternate checks that you have to calculate. But then, unfortunately, in this position, it makes no difference. So then the question arises, how exactly do you come out of this situation now? Rook b8 doesn't work. Rook b8, which looked like our only hope. Then you look at the, okay, so this position was a little easy. Okay, Blitz Rider says, yeah, you know this, you're not going to spoil it. No, I'm anyway telling the answer, Blitz Rider. So actually, I will be increasing the difficulty of all the puzzles. By the way, thanks for the follow, Rick Tarded 420 and Kratos Sock. Okay, yeah. Thanks for the follow, Cat Black GM. So guys, so in this position, am I Indian? Yeah, I am Indian. I'm from the beautiful state of Goa in India. How about knight d7 after rook b8? Okay. So Hidden Kings asked me an interesting question. Rook b8 check, king takes b8, and then knight d7. Hi, Cat Black GM. Yeah, but then, okay, guys. So here, black can just go king a8, or in fact, king c8 as well. And it's really difficult to see how you can avoid this. How can you stop or prevent this checkmate in one, you know? So that would be extremely hard. Thanks for the follow, Passencil. Yeah, Passencil's got this right, obviously. So yes, we will. So we'll get to the answer now, guys. So in this position, you know, after a great thought, you realize that the only way to avoid an immediate checkmate is queen e6 check. So you calculate it. You're from Delhi. Okay, that's nice. Welcome to the stream, Kratos Top. By the way, this is not my channel. This is my sister's channel, Nandi. But I'm just filling in for her today. So queen e6 check. Obviously, this is a forcing move. Black has to go queen takes e6. Okay, and you don't just stop at this. You know, I'm sure we all look at all the possible checks in the position. This is where exactly you just don't stop. I always have this policy that, you know, after you come to a conclusion, or after you believe that you know, your mind tells you either white is winning or black is winning, or you're giving a free queen, or any you know, conclusion like this, make sure that you just try and look for alternatives, or you try and make sure that you calculate one extra move. So the answer here is queen e6 check. Okay, so what am I doing? Firstly, I mean, black is forced to play queen takes e6, or else he gets checkmated. So for queen takes e6, the point is that I have avoided any mate in ones now. You know, black's queen is no longer an h3. There's no queen g2, or there's no queen h2. And here comes the main move for white, that is knight d7. Knight d7 has the idea of rook b8 checkmate. And a move like queen b3 does no good, because I just capture and then follows with rook b8 checkmate, right? And the only other way to prevent, you know, black can go e1 queen and be happy that he has two queens on board, but rook b8 would be checkmate. So this is, he has to deal with this threat, you know, by playing the move queen takes d7. And for queen takes d7, this is where white has this brilliant move, rook b8 check. So you know, I love this position. King takes b8, pawn takes, and no matter what black plays, white just plays d8 queen, and it's a checkmate in one. Hi Cats, welcome to the stream. So the point is that, you know, I always love this position. I show it to a lot of students of mine just to show how interesting chess is. You know, it's like all white has is like one strong pawn. Black can say he's up a knight, a bishop, several pawns as well, but it means nothing. Exactly, Gotti. Exactly. So you stopped at queen takes. You stopped at queen e6, queen takes e6, and this is one thing that I always think you need to inculcate. You know, I think it works for me. I guess every strong player does not just stop after he sees a move like queen e6, queen takes e6. Certainly not in this kind of position. You still got to push yourself. Ask yourself, okay, I need to calculate one or two moves. After queen takes e6, do I have anything interesting? So, you know, if you had to ask yourself, I think most certainly you would have found the move knight d7. So you're pushing yourself one move at a time. Obviously, not after playing queen e6, but in this position. Okay. Could go over it really fast once more. Yes, Colin, I will. I will go over it once more. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's look at this position. I'll just go through this quickly, and then we'll go to the next one. Black has this idea of queen g2 and queen h2 check. Okay. Passincel, you're from Sri Lanka. Nice instructive streaming. Thanks a lot, Passincel. Okay, so by the way, guys, so black had this idea of queen g2 and queen h2 check, right? So how do we actually deal with this issue? So one move that we always have to calculate is checks. So there are different checks in this position: queen e6, queen g4, rook b8, and I certainly believe that you've got to calculate each and every check in this position. So you've got to calculate all these checks. So rook b8 check looks very thrilling, but then black just captures, which is forced, and whichever check you give, they are pretty much the same, although you've got to look at all of them. Black can play the move king c8, queen b7 check, king d8, and when you think queen b8 is just made, and that's when you realize black has the move queen c8, and this is terrible. If I would be there, I would go for queen h2, then queen h1, and then take white's rook. Yeah, Kratosop, but this is white to play, right? So this is not working, and in this position, just because black plays queen c8, you don't stop calculating. You try and look whether you have anything, but unfortunately, you can look. You can calculate very deeply, queen b3 and stuff like queen g8, but it just doesn't work. It's not good enough. You can try and do something like queen b3, and then black can maybe just I think he can just make a queen here, and then when you go something like this, black has several things. Knight takes knight e3 should just be followed by mate somewhere here. This is checkmate. Okay, so now, when we come to this puzzle, the only move you see to avoid checkmate is queen e6 check. We avoid immediate checkmate. Black has to play the move queen takes e6. So this is why you want to look at CCTP. Remember, guys, remember this CCTP thing. CCTP stands for checks, captures, threats, and pawn breaks. Okay, so the threats and pawn breaks we will deal with later. The first thing that a check does. Why is a check a forcing move? A check is always a forcing move because your opponent is forced to remove the check. So your opponent is forced to remove the check. So a move like queen e6 forces queen takes e6, and then white can just play the move knight d7. So you don't stop at queen takes e6. You ask yourself, okay, I was forced to play queen e6, queen takes e6. Can I do something as white? And it's not just about you. In any certain position, like later we will come across it on stream. We will one thing I will be concentrating in this stream is making sure that we recognize our opponent's good moves. We recognize and find our opponent's good resources. So queen takes e6 here. White plays the move knight d7. Now I'm threatening a checkmate here, and black has to react to this checkmate. A move like e1 queen gets mated. And for queen takes d7, which is like the only move, white has this beautiful move rook b8. When he captures, pawn takes, and unfortunately, white's pawn alone strikes the final nail in the coffin for black, and it's game over. Black can make a queen and be happy. It's just a consolation. And white just plays d8 queen checkmate, and black has to just cry about all the material that he's up, and the helplessness that he is facing. So guys, let's go to the next position. I hope all of you all have understood this one, and we're going to increase the difficulty a tad. Okay, we're just going to increase the difficulty a tad. I'm going to go to yes, I'm going to go through a position that I happened in a game of mine, and I'll explain to you what was my thought process and stuff like that. Let me just set up the position. Oh, that wasn't pleasant. Wow, I just while trying to remove some my something from my eye, I just put my finger in my eye. Wow. Okay. Guys, just a moment. Yeah. Okay. So guys, this is a position from a game of mine. I'm rated around 2188. My opponent was rated around 1900, and this was the penultimate round of a very important rating tournament. Guys, just give me a minute, yeah. Just give me a minute. Okay, yeah. I think it will get better. So this was a game that I was playing. I was playing the black pieces. My opponent is white. He's about 1900. I was 20. I was, I think, 2200 rated when I played this game, and this was the penultimate round of a tournament. You know, a national level tournament. So I think we all were playing for the heavy cash prizes. And if I did win this game, I had a really strong chance of finishing first or second. Yeah, Kets. Nandy Chess is just taking a break for a day or two, so I decided to fill in. Yeah, so guys, this was the position. My opponent played the move bishop c6. I'm going to flip the board here. All of you can take your time and do let me know for the move bishop c6. Take about 5 minutes and do let me know what you think would be black's best continuation here. How does black actually continue? How does actually black continue this position? You know, white has just played the move bishop c6. And if you were black, what would you play? Hi Tanay, welcome to the stream. We're going to be working on calculations here. So as you can see, this position, white has just played the move bishop c6. The question is, can you all find black's winning line? I was playing black. Yes, I was playing black. I ended up losing this game, and I'll show you how exactly that happened. Okay, so further, I just would like to add that I had around, when before my opponent played the move bishop c6, I had around 1.5 minutes on my clock. So I had a lot of calculation to do after bishop c6. And I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you my thought process. I'll explain to you where I went wrong, how I went wrong, and how I ended up losing the game, and what would have simply won me the game. So for bishop c6, it's black to play. Sheikh, now I don't think you should just jump into bishop into g3 so soon. You know, just try and evaluate the position. Okay, so first thing, guys, whenever there is a position, the first thing that you've got to do, okay, the first ever thing that you've got to do is a material count. You have got to count the material. Without counting the material, you can never judge a position. And the reason I say you've got to count the material, let's just imagine that somebody's going to donate $10 to me. You know, my dream is that I've got to fly from India. I've got to fly to Paris. Okay. And I'm going to get a $10 donation. So just because somebody is going to give me money, I'm packing my bags. Does that make sense? It doesn't, because in $10 I'm not going to fly to Paris, right? Are you getting my point? So let's say in a position where you're a rook down and you get a pawn. The question is that pawn really worth it? Because you're down a rook. So you've got to make sure you count the material, and then after that you go further. So yes, I'm going to give all of you all 5 minutes. Do calculate. So guys, I want to tell you, I calculated all the stuff in a minute and a half, and I had to be really quick, but I ended up losing the game. Okay, equal position. Black has 3 pawn islands. Okay, Colin. But if you look at this position, I don't think black's pawn structure is actually as weak as white's. White has some pawns which are not really ideal on g3 and a5. So when white plays the move bishop c6, one basic question you ask yourself to avoid making blunders when your opponent makes a move. Ask yourself why did my opponent play this move, or what is my opponent's threat? I think if you ask yourself this simple question for bishop when your opponent plays bishop c6, you will be able to understand what your opponent's idea is. Uh, okay, yeah. So white is just played the move bishop c6, and again, I'm just going to remind everyone I have 1.5 minutes on the clock. I will be answering this question. I will be showing you the answer and everything else in about 2 to 3 minutes. Anyone who's actually interested in answering in the chat a variation that they calculated or they would like me to go through, do send it in the chat. Yeah, chess player 06, absolutely correct. Guys, yeah, Tarun Doshi also said yes. Hidden King, White's threat is okay. Obviously, he's threatening the pawn, but he's threatening something much bigger. In this position, he can't play rook takes bishop because my knight is defending. So obviously, what he does is he plays the move bishop c6, trying to eliminate my knight, which in turn allows him to capture my bishop. So he has a much bigger threat in bishop takes knight. Try to get players on call for live interaction. That Niraj. Okay, yeah, actually that's true, but I mean, I'm not really well versed with the setup here. This is my sister's thing. Maybe on another stream, I surely shall. Okay, chess player 06. What is your rating? Chess player 06. What exactly is your rating? Oops. Okay, guys. So I will go ahead. You're Jeet Jain. Jeet Shah. Sorry. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. No, he's not my opponent. That one. Okay, I was playing an opponent. Okay, so I mean, for those of y'all, I don't know if you know, but white is Nirgun Keval from Maharashtra, and I'm playing black. That's what I was thinking. But rook takes season check, so I got scared. Yeah. So guys, in this position, I will go through what I calculated. Okay, I'll go through what I calculated first. I had 1.5 minutes on the clock. I just want to remind you that. So and it's a high pressure game, high stakes. So the first thing that comes to mind is okay, white has a serious threat. I could have played bishop takes a5. That was always at the back of my mind. Worst case scenario, if I don't find a good move, I can always play bishop takes a5. Something that I calculated here was pawn takes pawn. Okay. And then I saw bishop takes knight. And in this position, pawn takes pawn. So chess player 06 will come to your line later on. I calculated pawn takes pawn. And then this is what I was calculating, okay? So white obviously has to play king takes pawn. And when he plays king takes pawn, now this gives me an opportunity to give a check with my bishop. So my bishop, which was attacked, can actually move to a square, and then I can capture this bishop. Isn't that cool, right? I'm just winning a pawn, right? But then as I tell you, when you come to a conclusion, don't just stop calculating. So I went on further. I went on further, and for bishop g3 check, my opponent can obviously play the move king f3. I can't play rook takes bishop because my bishop is hanging here. So in this position, I can play king takes, and I still didn't stop calculating here, just assuming that I'm a pawn up. No, I didn't do that. I calculated this move, check, and black plays king e7. Guys, if I'm going too fast, do let me know in the chat. I'm trying to go as slow as possible so that everyone can understand. King e7, and then my opponent can play rook takes g8, rook takes g8, and again, just as you think that you're a pawn up, white has this move rook g1, and then it's like, oh shit, this bishop is just hanging, right? The bishop just hangs now. I mean, it's pinned. I can't move the bishop because my rook just goes, and suddenly it looks like black is in real trouble. And then this is where I tell myself, okay, just because I'm in trouble, it doesn't mean that I just stop here. I gave myself 2-3 seconds and try to find a move for black. Yeah, perfect. Rook d8. Yes, perfect. Rook d8. You know, now suddenly I was happy. I said, wow, rook d8. Okay. Now I've removed my pin and I'm attacking your knight. So now next move I can move my bishop. And then, you know what I just did on the previous move to find rook d8, I did here again. I said, okay, don't get excited, Niraj. Let's try and find one more move for your opponent. It's like in boxing, you try and find that one extra punch, you know. Suddenly I see knight b4, and then I'm like, oh, there's this bishop attacked, and then there's knight c6 check. And this is disaster now for me. Correct, guys. It's not great. It's not great at all. The point is, there's knight c6 check and the bishop, and then I obviously don't stop calculating here. I asked myself, push yourself to calculate one more move. So I found bishop h2, attacking this rook. So if he goes knight c6, I probably can play the move. I think it's still losing. Knight c6 wins as well. But white has rook g2. I think it's much simpler. Rook g2 is like a much simpler. No. Knight c6 is the win. Sorry, rook g2 does not work because of this. You know, I mean, yes, white can grab this pawn, is still in the game. But knight c6 simply wins because for king e8, there is this check, and I'm grabbing this rook. And for king d7, there is this check. You can grab my knight, but I grab your rook, and white wins. Yeah, I hope I'm absolutely clear till here. If anybody wants me to repeat this variation, I could do so. So I've calculated a 10 move. I've calculated a 10 move variation in within the 1.5 minute, guys. Within the 1.5 minute, I have calculated this move: bishop c6, captures. So this is like a coconut tree method, you know. They are pretty much forced moves, so it's easier to calculate, and it can be done very fast. So here bishop g3, and then king takes, exchange, and then here. So this is like completely winning for white. Although I can kind of, you know, hold on. You know, rook d8 is a move that I'm trying to I'm going to try and counter attack, but it just doesn't work to this. You know, white has too many threads. Aryan says, Nandi, how did you grow your beard and why? Okay, rook check threat. Because you did not Nandi looks a bit different with this haircut. Yeah, I did have a haircut, but I plan on growing my hair now. By the way, yeah, everyone, just to brief you all, Nandi is just on a couple of days break, and I will be streaming on her behalf here. So I hope all of you all understood this variation. So obviously over here, bishop g3 was not the only move that I calculated. I calculated the move rook h2 check as well. Okay, I calculated the move rook h2 check as well, and in this position, in my as I'm telling you, I was under real time pressure. I calculated this, and then there is rook g3 check, and then white goes king e4, and then there's rook h4 check. You know, and white has the move knight f4. And rook takes e3, king takes e3, bishop takes f4, king f3, and bishop takes b5. So this is like very, very equal. You know, it's opposite colored bishops. I'm not sure how I could even have won this game here. Thanks for the follow, prosper_1. Thanks a lot for the follow. So I mean, this was something I calculated as well, but obviously I was not really happy. I was pressing in this game from the very beginning. So in this position, I calculated this variation, and then guys, this is like the main move which I saw. For bishop takes e8, you don't always have to panic when you've given material. You try and see if you have some great threats yourself. So in this position, I calculated the move g2. You know. And I was very happy when I saw g2. I was like, wow, g2 is just amazing. And then obviously for g2, black has this idea of rook h1 checkmate in 1. White has to defend it. Bishop e5, rook b4 is not winning for black in that line. Bishop e5, rook b4. Okay, guys, I'll just go back to that line. In this position, rook b4, I'm not sure it's winning. I'm not sure that it's winning. I think okay, there is a lot of there is a lot of endgame study that comes here, right? Okay, maybe not bishop. Can I move my king to a better square? I could do this. Okay, that's an interesting question. I think honestly, I don't think black should be winning here, but I could be wrong. I could be very well wrong here. I was looking at this check king here. I grab this a6. Prosper_1. Okay, glad that you're enjoying, and I hope everyone can learn a thing or two from this. So yeah. Okay, yes. It is Strzelecki. Yeah, probably it is winning. But yeah. I mean, I am continuously mentioning that, yeah, 2 connected against 1 on the A file. It's not plain and simple, but it is winning, guys. It is winning. But yes, again, I just want to tell you that I had barely 1.5 minutes on the clock, so I couldn't. Okay, I couldn't go this deep. If I was playing this game, I would invite both kings for a tea break, have a mutual agreement to draw, and head back to respective palaces along with queens to have some fun. How about rook d7 and then moving the bishop away? That is, where exactly are you saying? Yeah, okay, rook d7. Oh, yes. I think yes. Strzelecki, maybe he could play this, and then I think he can go something like bishop c6. Maybe this is still winning, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy here. It's not really I mean, it's not really clear, right? I think there have been there are some other things that come in this position as well. It's not so easy to defend this pawn, and probably a6, rook b7. I think no, rook b7 would be a blunder, but I'm sure that there will be something that can keep white in the game. Maybe rook a7, and then you try and hold on for dear life as white. Okay, so yes, let's go ahead. So this is partly something that I calculated. But you know, one more thing that I calculated here was a pawn takes pawn, bishop takes e8. Yeah, Colin, it is close to a draw. Maybe it's not, but you know, I had 1.5 minutes on the clock, so I had to make a decision, and I was not really comfortable about winning that. Oh yeah, rook d7, white has more chances to hold. Yeah, not straightforward unless we have been raided by Magnus Carlsen and he would demonstrate how to win exactly chess on earth. So by the way, guys, in this position, I decided to go with the move. I decided to calculate g2. So now I'm down a piece, and then white can play the move rook takes c7, and it's like, wow, I'm currently 2 pieces down, but I have a very, very strong threat that white has to deal with. But in this position, after rook takes bishop, I can't play this move because rook takes pawn and white is simply winning. White is simply winning. Black has to move somewhere here and then I can just grab this pawn. So this is not possible. I can't go here. So I'll mark this square as red. I could play the move king takes e8, but this loses as well. King takes e8 loses as well to the simple move rook c8 check. Black can play the move king e7. And for king e7, white simply has rook takes g8. You do not have the checkmate here because the rook no longer is defending the pawn. And when black does this, white is simply up a piece and can play knight f4 and grab this pawn, and white is winning. I hope all of you all have followed till here, right? So the point is king d8. Stress like exactly. So when I saw this line, I saw king d8 and I was really proud of myself. But again, I told myself king d8. Okay, I'm attacking this rook. Let's not get excited. There's this mate threat. So here I decided to actually take some time and ask myself, okay, what exactly can white do here? And then I realized that white has this brilliant move, knight c5 check. So guys, white has to deal with a rook which is attacked and a checkmate in one. And how does he do it? He plays the move knight c5 check. And the point is, for king takes c7, white has the move knight a6 check. Black's king can't come to either of these squares. I can't come here as well. And I can't come here. So basically, I have two squares to choose from. Okay? And if black plays king c8, white simply goes bishop check. White goes bishop check. If black plays king d8, I go bishop c6 check. White goes bishop c6 check and grabs my pawn. And that is a winning position for white. No, white is not winning. White is not winning chess player 06. So this position would be a draw. I have to play king b7. He goes knight c5 check. I can't go king a8 because of bishop c6 check. I can't go king a8 because white has bishop c6 check. And when the king moves, he grabs this pawn. So I can't go on this diagonal. I can't go anywhere on this diagonal because that would mean that the bishop grabs the pawn. Right? So this would be winning for white. White is up material. So what would have happened in this position is white would give check. I would have to come here. White would give check. I would have to come here like this. He would come here. This, and this is a beautiful perpetual check. It's a perpetual and it would end in a draw. So, when I was playing this game, I was really proud of my calculation. I had 1.5 minutes on the clock, plus a little time of my opponent before he played the move bishop c6. And I was really proud of what I actually was calculating. What if knight f4? Where exactly are you talking about, Ritvik? Where exactly knight f4? Yeah, so I was pretty proud of my calculation here, and I will show you what exactly I missed over here, okay? So I thought that if I play h takes g3, bishop takes e8, and there is no way to win because I kind of spotted that beautiful perpetual check. King d8, knight c5 check, and I saw this, knight a6, and suddenly this is a draw. Thanks for the thanks for the follow, GM Tranquilizer. So I was like while playing this game, I was pretty proud of my calculation. I was like, wow, I've managed to calculate all this in so little time. And then I decided not to play the move, not to go forward with this line, g3 and g2. Instead of knight c5, okay, you're saying instead of knight c5, what if knight f4? I think I can just play king takes rook, right, Ritvik? And now you have to deal with an attacked bishop and this mate threat. And I think this would be losing for white. This is definitely losing for white. I mean, black would simply be an exchange up. You can play knight takes pawn and rook takes bishop, and it's winning. So I was really proud of this calculation, during the game, and I was like, I've escaped a major scare, and I played the move bishop takes a5, and I will come to this line later on. Now I'll show you how easy the win was, and this is where exactly I always, I kind of talk to myself when I'm playing. I tell myself now, after this game, I've learned one very important lesson. It's not about how deep you calculate, how deep you go in your calculation. It's about how correct you calculate. If your calculation is wrong on move 2 itself, there's no point calculating a variation which is 8 or 10 moves long, because all you're doing is you're wasting your time. So I calculated h takes g3, bishop takes e8, and I saw the move g2, threatening rook h1 checkmate, and white played, if white plays rook takes c7, the simple move, chess player 06, absolutely correct, king f8, brilliant move. King f8 is the brilliant move. So the point being here, try and understand this, guys. I don't play king takes e8 because white has rook c8 check, and for king e7, white can capture, and then he's just winning. So here what I do is, I should be playing the move king f8. So all I did in this variation was I calculated so many moves, but I didn't calculate the one correct move that I should have. Okay, there is a saying that the most mistakes in calculation is on the second move. It could be correct. Here king f8, I totally didn't calculate this. Now what happens with this is, white can't deal with this rook h1 threat. He can play the move f4, temporarily avoiding checkmate here, but then I capture his rook, and next move I make a queen, and I'm simply winning. But okay, so the other move that comes to mind is rook takes f7, and now I play the move king takes e8, and then there is no rook c8 check, and this is the entire point of the king f8 move, which I think is beautiful. Okay, so in this, no, call in for bishop takes f7. I think they're just rook h1 checkmate. The rook h1 checkmate is a constant threat in this position. It's like a very, very dangerous threat that white has to deal with. So I hope all of you are clear until here, right? So I will show you how I managed to lose this position. So I calculated a hell lot in 1.5 minutes, but the simple thing that I didn't do is I didn't calculate all my candidate moves. I didn't consider the move king f8, which I should have. I considered king f6, I considered king d6, and I considered king d8 and king takes e8. But I just ignored king f8. It was like something that really didn't make sense back then. And that is why I always say this, you can never play a move that you have not seen. If you've not seen a move, you can never play it. If you have not spotted the move on the chessboard, you're never going to play that move. Is black winning there instead of f4, instead of rook takes c7 if white plays the move f4? Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I didn't think of this. Is black winning this? I think black is definitely better. I think black is definitely better chess player. I think I can just play the move king takes e8. I would like to believe that I'm better because I'm already up a pawn and I can grab a second pawn as well, right? You can't play rook takes bishop. You can't play rook takes bishop here because of check. So I think black is definitely better here. So I'll get to the line that I played in the game and how I lost. So in the game, I played the move bishop takes a5. Because I saw that perpetual check variation which I just showed you a while ago. I played the move bishop takes a5. You're really enjoying the streaming. Thanks a lot, Passensil. So I played the move bishop takes a5, and I was relieved that I have come out of all this trouble that I could have been through. I obviously was looking for the win here. It was a very crucial game. And I let my guard down for one move. For bishop takes a5, my opponent played the move bishop takes e8. And for one move in the game, I decided to not calculate. And I just played the move king takes e8 without calculation, because I simply thought that, okay, I play king takes e8 because my rook is on a on an awesome file, pinning the pawn, and I'm probably going to grab the g3 pawn next. I'm trying to create some threats over here, and this was a huge blunder. King takes e8, and white is simply winning. I played the move king takes e8 without calculating, and this was my mistake. Rook takes e8. I think black is still playing for a win here. I played king takes e8, and my opponent played the move knight e5, and after knight e5, it's like game over. I mean, when I say game over, I mean white is completely better here, because of the fact that let's just assume, okay, let's just say that black plays something like h takes g3. There are multiple ways to win in this position for white. One way is just give this check. Black has to do this, and then I can just do this, and knight c6 check is 4 double attack, and white just grabs this bishop, and most probably is winning. Also, there is another, I think, a cleaner way to win. Or I think this is what I think I did. I think I did play h takes d3, and after rook d7, it becomes really hard to defend against this mate threat. Extremely hard to defend against this mate threat. So this was a complete disaster, catastrophe for me. White is simply winning this game now. Rook d7 instead of rook c8. Exactly, Nandi. Yeah, I mean that's what. White can also play rook d7 instead of rook c8, and I think white is completely better. So this is how complex a position can get, and I went on to lose this game, and I did not finish on top in this tournament. But I think this position taught me a lot. Okay, so guys, let's move on. If anyone has any doubts regarding this position, do let me know. If not, I will move on to the next position that I want to be showing. So this was all about calculating, finding the candidate moves. You've got to try and find the candidate moves. Every move in chess should be considered and should be checked out. You just cannot assume. In chess, we have no scope for assumption. You can't just say maybe that move is winning. No, chess doesn't work that way. Okay, guys, so let's actually move to another position. Another position. Yes. Okay. Stresslex says, Nandi Chess, wow, how are you able to stream and ask on chat at the same? Okay, so I'm going to go to another position. I think some of y'all who have actually seen our YouTube channel would have come across this position here. Okay, Sheikh. Now, by the way, guys, if you all don't know, you can always check out our YouTube channel. I've just put it out here. Do check out our YouTube channel, and I will be going through this. Okay, thanks. Thanks for the follow, Chess's Life, I guess. Chess's Life is what he meant with the username, but it came as Chess's Life. Anyway, never mind. Let us continue. We're going to go board editor. Hi, Chess's Life. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to go to this game. Those of y'all who have not visited our YouTube channel, please do visit it. The channel is by Nandi Chess, myself, and Grandmaster Anurag Mamal. We have some instructive chess content there. Do check it out. I have a video called I have Crazy Queen Moves. I have a video called Crazy Queen Moves, and in that, those of y'all who have seen that video have definitely come across this position that I'm about to show y'all. So yeah, sit back and let's enjoy this position. This position is white to play. Analysis board. Yes, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a difference. Strzelecki, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying we don't use intuition in chess. I'm not saying that we don't use intuition in chess, but all I'm trying to say is we don't assume. I think there's a difference. Intuition is a strong feeling. Assumption is like you probably can calculate, but you just assume that is you're just negligent or you're lazy, you know. So guys, this is a game between two very strong British grandmasters. Playing the white pieces is Nigel Short. He was rated around 2500, but I think we all know him. He's one of England's most famous chess player. And playing black is Anthony Miles. And I want to tell you one fun fact about Anthony Miles. Okay, um, Anthony Miles was a very strong English grandmaster, but he was unable to beat Anatoly Karpov for a long, long, long time. You know, Anatoly Karpov was like his nemesis. Every time he played every time he played against Anatoly Karpov, he basically lost. So, I read this fun fact somewhere. So, I mean, I couldn't verify it, but I did check out the game. So, you know, one fine day, and Miles Anthony just gets so pissed, and he says, so he's paired against Karpov in this very strong tournament, and he decides that I don't want to, you know, I just am anyway going to lose to Karpov, so I might as well get adventurous and play. So, if I'm not wrong, I think Karpov started with the move e4, and Miles played the move 1 dot 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 a6. He replied to e4 with 1 dot 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 a6, and that was the first time that he ever beat Anatoly Karpov. So that's a fun fact. I don't know how many of y'all knew it here, but I hope yeah, I hope I hope it is correct. And yeah, thanks for the follow, Chess on Hard. Chesso Hard. Ah, sorry, Chesso Hard. Thanks for the follow, guys. Yes. So coming to this position, as white, one thing that you know, you always want to calculate is a threat. You know, so coming to this method of CCTP, we look at checks, we look at captures, then we look at threats, and we look at pawn breaks. So here there's a very strong threat of knight b6, and I'll just go through this puzzle very quickly. This is not about deep calculations. It's just about the, you know, the mindset of not giving up in a position. So white can play the move knight b6, and in fact, Nigel Shaw did not find this. Streslek says, yeah, I know that someone beat Karpov with 1 dot a6, but didn't know that there's a story behind it. Yeah, so that was the story. I mean, I found it really fun. So coming back to this position, you know, white can play the move knight b6 and a double attack, but he has a real issue after the move knight e2. And this is what Nigel Short obviously calculated. Being a very strong grandmaster, knight b6, knight e2. And why exactly is knight e2 so strong? White cannot play knight takes d7 because now the knight is defending, you know, the c1 square, and boom, rook c1, rook takes c1, rook takes c1, and that's backrank checkmate. Pretty embarrassing. So obviously white can't capture, and obviously white can't capture rook takes here directly because rook c1 is checkmate as well. So for knight e2, white can't play the move bishop takes e2, you know, because black has a checkmate in 2. For bishop takes e2, there is queen takes d1, bishop takes d1, rook c1, checkmate. And it's like, wow, you know, black is just winning. And it's hard to find a defense. It's really hard to find a defense, guys. So for knight e2, pretty much every move that white plays just loses. So guys, I want you to take your time and figure out for knight e2, does white have a defense? You know, does white have a defense? So obviously, Nigel Shaw did not play the move knight b6 because for knight e2 he could not find a defense, and he thought that white is simply losing. Do let me know if you find a defense, guys. So I will reveal the answer in a couple of minutes. Do take your time. Okay, Gotti, you've already seen this puzzle somewhere. I know the solution, but not going to share it. Yeah, thanks a lot. Ritvik. Okay, Ritvik says, yeah, Queen f8. Guys, those of you who have not, who don't know, we do have a YouTube channel with the name Go and Chess Trio. Do check it out. I'll just post the link in the chat below. Make sure that you actually have a look at this. We have a pretty wild video on the queen moves as well. Pretty wild queen moves. Rook e2. Word 20 says rook e2. Okay, I mean if you play rook takes e2, there's just queen takes d1 is checkmate, right? So that would not work. Word 20. Yes. So guys, this is chess player 06 says you've seen our video. Okay, yeah. So I have covered this position in the video. So Nigel Short missed this brilliant move here. Absolutely, I don't know. It's like jaw smacking. It's all. I was in awe of this move, Queen f8. You just offer the queen right there, Queen f8, and White is simply winning this position. Black has absolutely nothing to do. So this puzzle shows you that you've got to consider all kinds of moves. In a tough situation, try and consider all kinds of moves to get out of that situation. So Queen f8 actually wins the game for White. It's no longer winning for Black. It just does not defend. He just does not defend, but he in fact is simply winning the game. So if Black plays King takes f8, White can play knight takes d7, check, and Black has to go here. And now I capture this, and White is simply up a piece. White is simply up a knight. This is just completely winning for White. And if Black plays the move rook takes f8, White can play knight takes d7, and now you do not have the battery of the rooks to give me checkmate. I have forced your rook to go away, and I've basically exchanged queens by forcing your rook to go away. So now what happens is you have a knight attacked and you have a rook attacked and you have a knight trapped and attacked on e2, and White is simply winning. Yeah, Ritvik 2494. Yeah, the position is pretty complex. That's why I just wanted to show that there are moves like Queen f8 that exist in positions that we tend to ignore or we just tend to give up on, and this was a position that I think I really enjoyed when I saw it for the first time. So moving on, guys. Moving on. I want to show you another position, and now we are going to be talking about a concept of recognizing your opponent's resources. So those of y'all who don't know about this book, the late Mark Dvoretsky, an absolute beast of a chess coach, an absolute legend, legendary author. He has written or compiled these positions and in the form of a book named Recognizing Your Opponent's Resources. It's a wonderful book. Please do check it out if you haven't. So the following position that I'm about to set is from that book. Oops. Just a moment, guys. Just a moment. Let me clear the board, and then we're going to set up this position. And guys, if those of you all who are enjoying the stream and who have not yet followed, please do hit the follow button. We generally have really instructive streams out here. Also, I would like to tell everyone that I will be playing a simul against all the subscribers of this channel. I'll let you know shortly when exactly it will be. So do connect on Nandy's Discord as well. Yeah. So guys, this was the position, and I want all of y'all to think. I want all of y'all to think about this position. It's White to play. I want all of y'all to think what are the moves that come to your mind. I want to buy a book for endgame. I'm rated around 1650 in 30 minutes leeches. Any suggestions? An endgame for a book for endgame. So there are two types of endgames. Okay, Gotti. One type of endgames are the theoretical book endgames, like which every player must know. So I would recommend two books you can refer to. Dvoretsky Endgame Manual, which is an extensive book. It's very intensive training as well, very vast. but it is like a must read. And another favorite book of mine regarding the endgame is 100 Endgames You Must Know. 100 Endgames You Must Know by Jesus Devia. It's a beautiful book, guys. It's a beautiful book. So do check out that as well. Okay. I think it's pretty handy. GM Ra, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, GM Ra. Knight to G6. Sai 143 cool says knight to G6. Yeah, that's a pretty nice find. Coming back to this position, it's white to play, and it's white to play, guys. It's white to play, and I want y'all to calculate and let me know what you think white should play in this position. Like what should white do? Think of all the possible moves, and then do let me know what you think is actually winning, or if white can actually win the game. Mm-hmm. Sai 143 says knight g6. Okay, okay, possible. Do write down the complete continuation, Sai. If you think that is the move, do write down the complete continuation and let us see if you actually found it. Okay, Sai, instead of giving one move per line, I think it would be better if you could just write white's response, black response, white, and just send me the entire line. Okay, rook e6, yes. Just go on, just go on. Queen moves in surprise check from queen. Okay, we call it a discovered check. Yeah, by taking a tempo. Okay, it sounds pretty easy, right? It looks pretty easy as well. But hi, checkmate, bro. I don't. Hi, okay, I'll just call you Daksh because that name is just too difficult. So hi Daksh, welcome to the stream. It's white to play, guys. And my question is, okay, I will go one step ahead. I'll go one step ahead and put forward the question: can white play the move knight g6? I want all of you all to calculate. I will be giving the answer in a couple of minutes. I want all of you to calculate and tell me: can white play the move knight g6? Does knight g6 win? Daksh, no, I'm not sure about knight takes f7 because for knight takes f7, I think black can just go queen takes f7. So do calculate. Yeah, Daksh, do take your time, calculate, and then we shall go and we shall look at this position in depth. Everyone will call you Andy's bro instead of Niraj, who are not familiar. Yeah. That's okay. As long as I appear on her channel, I don't mind being dressed as Nandy's bro. But if somebody comes to the okay, if somebody comes to the Twitch channel of Goanchesstrio and says you're Nandy's bro, then I would definitely, that would instigate me. Okay, guys, let's get back here. Let's get back here. Question is, can White play the move knight g6? Does knight g6 win, or is it a blunder, or is it just like, it's okay? You don't really get any advantage. Okay, Sai says probably it does win, I guess. So this is one of the introduction positions in the book, recognizing your opponent's resources. It's a beautiful book written by the late Mark Dvoretsky. So if you can ever get your hands on this book, please do buy it. Any serious chess player who is looking to improve his chess, this book is a must-have. Okay, I personally loved it. It teaches us to calculate. It teaches us to keep calculating in positions that you believe is still winning for you. It teaches us to try and find resources for our opponent, which is not a natural human instinct. A natural human instinct is, wow, I'm doing great, and then it's like, okay, how do I win? But the question is, am I winning? Because you've got to try and see what your opponent can counter your moves with. And this book, I think, works your mind along the correct lines of calculation. Okay, so Duck says knight g6, fg6, queen takes c6, queen takes c6. I don't think we really. This is really complicated. Yeah, knight to g6 is a blunder. Okay, so guys, I will be showing you the answer here. So Sai, you said knight to g6 is a blunder, but I don't think you've got the answer correct. Daksh says knight g6. Okay, so knight g6, guys. What's the idea of knight g6? Okay, the idea of knight g6 is it's a double attack. So obviously, black has to play the move pawn takes knight. And for pawn takes knight, white has this very good move, rook takes e6. So what does rook takes e6? What does it do? It attacks the queen. And I'm threatening to play rook takes f6 with a discovered check. So I've actually won a pawn. So for those of you who have not noticed the material change, white has actually given a knight, captured a pawn, and now I'm going to capture the knight as well. So white is going to be up a pawn. And a pawn up in this kind of position is massive, A pawn up in this kind of position is very close to winning for white. Considering that he has a great knight on c5 and a passed d pawn. So, I mean, white is going to be close to winning if he can get rook takes e6 like this. Aha, yes, Daksh. Now we are talking. So for rook takes e6, there is queen f7, and then white can play the move knight takes b7. And the point is, when white plays knight takes b7, if black plays queen takes b7, which is obviously recapturing the piece, don't get too excited, guys. Don't get too excited and play rook e7. Rook e7 would be a blunder. Rook e7 check would be a blunder, guys. Rook e7 would just be a blunder because black has queen d5. Boom. I have blocked the check. Oops, I didn't mean that diagonal. I meant this. I've blocked the check as black, and I've moved my queen as well. And my queen is defended on d5. So that would be disaster for white. Absolute disaster. So you don't want to do this. Indeed, you don't get too greedy. Grab this knight over here, and you're up a pawn. And white is definitely pressing for for the win. But this is where chess is not as easy as it looks. And this is what makes chess very, very beautiful and very hard at the same time, This is what makes chess beautiful and difficult. So, in this line, it's very hard to see where exactly we go wrong. And, the conclusion is that knight g6 is a blunder. We can take on f6 and then on b7. No, that would be like, okay, let's check out that line. Here, you want to capture here, this, and then capture on b7. But you are in exchange down, right, Daksh? Your opponent has two rooks and a queen. You have a queen, rook, and knight. I don't think that's a smart thing to do. You don't want to be going in exchange down, right? Not a smart thing to do. So yeah. So guys, coming back to this position, the question is that can white play the move knight g6? And the answer is that knight g6 is a blunder, and we shall see why. If white plays the move knight g6, black plays pawn takes, white plays rook takes e6. Nothing out of the ordinary. This is what we just actually calculated, right? Rook takes e6 and black plays queen f7. Okay, he has to kind of block this diagonal from a very strong discovered check. So queen f7. And for knight takes b7, black is not forced to capture the knight. Who said that black is forced to capture the knight? You know, black is down a pawn, and this is where black has this brilliant winning move. Can anyone, okay, I would like everyone to take around 2 to 3 minutes. Try and find black's winning move. This is, this particular move is the refutation to white's knight g6 on move 1. This particular move just wins black the game. Can anyone find it? Do let me know in the chat. Guys, so this will be the last position. This will be the last position we will be doing on this stream of improving calculation. I will be doing another improving calculation stream. 94, that's a nice try. But I'm not sure what you're achieving. In fact, actually 94 is losing, Daksh. Knight to g4, okay, that's interesting. I think all of us have spotted, I mean in the chat, whoever is saying moving the knight, I think all of us have spotted that the f2 pawn is definitely weak, right? We have spotted that the f2 pawn is a real weakness, and how do you try and target the pawn is the main question here. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Luminica, Desu, and Agan 9097. Thanks a lot for the follow. Okay, yeah. Luminica Desu is actually just figured this out. He just comes in and gets the answer correct. Boom. Knight d5. Knight d5 is the winning move here. Knight d5 is the winning move. What does knight d5 do? Firstly, it threatens the very strong queen. Oops, that's not strong. It threatens queen takes f2 followed by queen f1, back rank checkmate. For starters, that is the main threat. The second thing is I have blocked white's support to the rook. You know, the queen was the only piece defending the rook. I have blocked it. And I also have the threat of queen takes b7, defending the d5 knight. Hello Nandies bro. Yeah, hi fan Divin Corals. Welcome to the stream. I told you someone will do that. Yeah, someone did do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind as long as I'm on her channel and someone addresses me as Nandies bro. I think I'm fine with it. Oh, Nandi Chess, Ferchini, is he the guy you called a traitor when we were having the sub battle against Diana? Is it him? I remember you talking about Ferchini on the stream. Is it? Oh, that's him. That's him. Okay. Okay. Fetchin is a traitor. Yeah, so probably we could, I think in one of the stream we could have Fetchini is a traitor sub arena here. I think we could do that, right? Or I could name my simul, if I'll be giving a simul, probably I could name it that. Okay, by the way, guys, coming back to this position, probably let us discuss this position first. So after 95, it is really hard to find how white can defend all the threats. You know, white can do something like rook e2. I defend the rook and I defend the pawn, but then black just grabs this and black is up a piece. End of story. Black is winning. And there's not much that white can do here. So talking about this position, what else can white do? If white grabs this knight, that leads to an embarrassing backline checkmate. And what else do we have here? So for knight e5, is a cool move here. Knight e5 is a really cool move. And after 95, white would just have to throw in the towel. It just has to resign. I mean, when I say resign, obviously he can continue a couple of moves, but it's not great. Because a move like f3 will be met with queen takes e6. It's hard to find a defense, and this is why knight g6 is a blunder. And all you need to do is imagine you're white, you get excited, you calculate all this, and then you think, I'm just winning here after knight takes b7. You just assume that queen takes b7, rook takes f6, you're winning, and you fail to calculate your opponent's best moves. Yeah, I mean, see, Daksh, you would literally take 20 minutes to calculate all these lines starting from knight g6. I agree. I think that's how we improve. You take 20 minutes, you do it in the right way, the particular way of calculating, you do it in the correct way, you take your time, and then you can work on your speed. So, I think any good gym trainer would work on form, would work on technique, rather than the amount of weight you're doing first. If you have your technique right, then you can slowly improve on the weight, when you're lifting. Okay, Aryan, bye-bye. Time for dinner. Yeah. Sai says you never heard of it. You never heard of what? The cat gambit. Okay. Yep. So by the way, guys, in this position, I from this stream, I want all of y'all to try and take one thing, and the one thing that I want y'all to carry with y'all from this particular stream, which we will be continuing next as well. This is just part 1 of improving calculation. I will be having a part 2 as well, guys, so do stay tuned. But if you can take anything from this particular stream, is that do not underestimate your opponent's resources. Do one thing. Whenever you've come to a conclusion, right, of a particular position, like, okay, knight takes b7 and why I'm up a pawn, ask yourself to calculate that one move for your opponent. Try and find your opponent's move. If you can't find a move, well and good, but don't stop here. Stopping at knight takes b7 would be a very bad thing to do. Daksh, I will be ending the stream soon, but I will be having part 2 of improving calculations very, very soon. Probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So stay tuned, and please do connect to our Discord for updates on when I will be going live. I will be streaming. I will be doing a couple of streams on Nandy's channel here, so please do stay tuned. Daksh, I think you missed the initial thing. I've been streaming for an hour and a half, I believe, already. So yes, so in this position, knight e5 teaches us that in a position where you've come to a conclusion that you are better or you're winning, try and push yourself to calculate that one particular move for your opponent. I often do this. I stop calculating at wrong places and then blunder and complicate it, just like I did here. Exactly, Daksh. So this is something that you can work on, and the thing what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to kind of show out these puzzles so that you actually realize and maybe it will help you in future. You can actually figure out in what kind of positions you should not stop calculating. One particular thing that I always say is whenever you come to a conclusion, either I'm winning or I'm losing or I'm better, you've got to try and ask yourself to go that one move beyond. Like here, knight takes b7, it's so easy to say, after queen takes b7, rook takes f6, I'm winning. But then here you ask yourself, okay, knight takes b7, start working backwards. For knight takes b7, does my opponent have anything else here? And then when you start looking at the position closely, it's not very hard to find that the f2 square is pretty weak of yours, and then you will start looking at all the possible knight moves, and knight e5 eventually just will give black the win. So this is what we want to avoid. This is how you avoid making blunders, guys. So I will be ending the stream here.
So bye bye guys. See
bye bye
you
guys
tomorrow.